And our KCYB Symphonic Band is comprised of our most advanced students. This ensemble features students who played a band instrument for at least 2 years and have developed a very proficient skill level. And so they do very difficult pieces, and you'll see how hard they work and the good job that they do here. We're very proud of the legacy of our band that they've done here, and look forward to all the years of all the great music they'll make here in the very near future as well. So help me welcome them to the stage. They're under the direction of Mr. Jonathan Light.
Thank you for your patience in our transitions from one band setup to the next. It takes a little bit of time, and we appreciate you being patient with that. As you know, our concert is a patriotic themed concert, and the first piece that we'll start out with tonight is titled Chimes of Liberty. It was written by a March composer named Edwin Franco Goldman, who lived from 1878 to 1956. And Goldman ranks as one of the top major March, what we would call the March Kings. There's 3 March Kings, and he's one of them. Can you guess who one of the other ones are? All right, John Philip Sousa, you got it. So John Philip Sousa and Edwin Goldman are known as the American March Kings, and then there's a third March King. His name is Kenneth Alford, and he's known as the British March King for their different stylistic approaches in composing their marches. As the title suggests, the chimes in the percussion section, which is where Jonathan Gebbe's standing. Jonathan, wave at him so they know where it's at. Those are the chimes in front of him, and the chimes will be featured in this piece along with our clarinet section, and in the trio, and then the second time it repeats, it'll feature our piccolo and flute players. And what's kind of unique and very interesting about the Chimes of Liberty is that most of us have probably heard Stars and Stripes Forever, John Philip Sousa's arrangement of that, maybe not the jazz band version you heard tonight, but the standard. And usually you'll see the flutes and the piccolos stand up when they're featured in that. It's one of the most distinctive piccolo features of all marches. And Chimes of Liberty, this piccolo feature and flute feature comes right in line, second place to the Stars and Stripes Forever piccolo features. The next most distinctive feature, so no pressure, flutes. takes a lot out of me. I'm already sweating. Okay. America the Beautiful is our next selection for tonight. It's a classic American patriotic song that's held in such high regard that it has often been considered for legal status as in place of our national hymn or national anthem, or equal to it at least, of the Star Spangled Banner. This effort has not succeeded yet, and perhaps it never will, but it does prove the powerful native sentiment that this song has instilled in the hearts of our American people. The lyrics were written by Catherine Lee Bates, and the music was composed by church organist and choir master Samuel A. Ward. Purple Mountain Majesties refers to the shade of the Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs, Colorado, which Bates looked at while writing the poem. So with this knowledge in mind, let us not overlook all the beautiful landscapes in America, and may we continue to pray for God to shed his grace on thee. Students that are up here in the Symphonic Band, I read in a music magazine earlier that performing music on an instrument perhaps is one of the most difficult, noble endeavors that we can do as humans. And I think it's so true, just watching the progress from day one of rehearsal in the band camp in August leading up till now. So I can't thank all the students here enough for their hard work and dedication to bringing music to life, for you to listen to and for us to offer up to God for the gift of music that he's given us. In addition to that, I'd like to take a moment. You'll notice that there are some people up here who are not students, and they were gracious and willing to give up their time to play with us tonight. So you can see their names on the program, but if you could just give them a round of applause for joining us tonight. Okay, the last work that we are going to play for you tonight is inspired. I'm going to actually get Chloe, our harpist, to come help me. Come over here, Chloe. It's inspired by the Cajun culture in Louisiana, and she's going to pronounce it in French for you.
Joie de vivre.
And as you know, thank you, Chloe. And as you know, in Louisiana, there are several people who speak French, and that what she just spoke, English translation, literally means joy of life, the title of the piece. This music was commissioned by the Lafayette Concert Band in Louisiana, and interestingly, I chose this final work for our program before the recent devastating floods took place in Louisiana. One cannot help but notice the American heart alive in the people, united together to support the victims when we have times of crisis in America and natural disasters such as the recent floods in Louisiana. And to me, that's what makes America great. I think you would all agree too, the fact that when we have a crisis on our hands, we all are able to come together and support one another and show the love of God in trying to get people back on their feet and going on with their life. The American dream is, I'll quote Dinesh D'Souza, if you don't know who he is. He's a famous, well, I guess he's a conservative, but anyways, he's a famous Republican speaker who was part of the Reagan administration. And he always says the American dream is that we have the ability to be the architect of our own lives. And I think what's amazing about KCYB is our organization believes that the joy of life is fully experienced when we choose to live our lives for Christ. And I see that present in all the students who are in this ensemble and all the students who are in the other bands in the organization. They're just wonderful people to be around. And I'm just so honored to be a part of the organization and stand before them. As you know, the official motto of the United States is "In God We Trust," which is also part of our program title tonight. And we believe the people in Louisiana are in dire need of help. So whether you can contribute with us tonight, all of you should be able to through prayer. We ask for your prayers and your spiritual support in that way, and join us in that way. But if you also are able to contribute a monetary donation, we're going to collect those at the end of this concert. There will be some concert band students, or maybe they're beginning band students, who will have baskets as you exit the sanctuary here. And feel free to make a donation towards that. It will go towards the Samaritan Purse, and those donations will then further be distributed to the victims in Louisiana. So we appreciate you being here tonight. We appreciate all that you do as families supporting your children in pursuing music. And I hope I haven't left anything out, and if I have, I'll leave it to you, Dr. Freeland, to cover my back here. So God bless, and thank you for being here.
That is our final band for the evening. What a great night of music. What great musicians we have, great directors we have. We are